In the last video I mentioned about taking the PCB off the back here to access the capacitors to change them. Actually, I've had a rethink and maybe a better idea is to take the speaker off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully it does come off. It should do. I don't see why it won't. And then we can work on the capacitors slightly better. I will need to protect this dial cord, and I'll wrap some silver foil around that edge so the soldering iron doesn't actually touch it. Now these screws are longer than I thought, quite long, and there's something rattling around inside the radio as well, so maybe we can see what's in there. Don't know what it is. Could be just something that's worked its way in from use over the years. I'm not sure. As I say, someone has worked on this before by putting those two back-to-back diodes on it, if you remember from the last video. There we go. Right. Let's see what's... So the speaker itself is a beautiful, like, very deep purple colour. It's a bit of a beauty. So let's see what's rattling around. A tub of Vaseline. Bloody odd. And a hand. So very strange. Right, it looks as if I remove the speaker. Just two wires here, obviously. I'll be able to get some access into here and remove some of the electrolytics that are in there. So I'm going to get all my stuff out and we'll see you in a minute. Right, we've got everything we need here to desolder these electrolytics, probably very tired ones. We've got a soldering iron, we've got a solder pump, we've got some desoldering tools here just to pry up the leads if they're a little bit stiff. We've got some solder wick in various widths. We've got some Amalfi lemon scent diffuser. We've got the Rolling Stones Goat's Head Soup, I believe, with the original refractive cover thing. We've got a hammer, and we've got a cuddly toy, and that's what we need to get the capacitors out. So I'll get cracking and I'll bring you back when it's all done. Right, and this completes all the changing of the capacitors around the tone circuit. So this one, there's two capacitors. You can just see one up underneath. There's also a very small 2.2 or 2.5 as it was back in the day UF electrolytic in there, which was this thing here, and it was showing as completely open, so whether it was or not, that's the limitations of the peak testing units. They don't like low value electrolytics, but that one said in circuit greater than 10 ohms, so it came out anyway, and I put a new one in there. Now we get on to my favourite part, which is the cleaning. So there's loads of crud around these chrome buttons here. These have got all fly spotting, spider spotting all over them. They need a good clean. The aerial I did polish up last night off camera. That does need another clean up, and obviously the case needs cleaning, so let's get on to that. Right, to remove the aerial is just a screw that needs undoing, and this little bracket here just pops off and the aerial itself pulls out of the tube. Now it was jammed, sort of stuck, and you couldn't get it all the way up. Now I've managed to get it so it comes up. It's actually got a knuckle joint in it which I couldn't get, and the reason for that is there's a little lug on the bottom of the aerial here. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get it in. A little lug here, and that needs to line up with this groove, and you think it would just slide up on this sort of cam bit here and get into the groove. Isn't that a song by Madonna? But it actually doesn't. It's very stiff. There it goes. So it probably just needs a good old clean, but no. Right, the clean-up begins. First things first, we're going to have to remove this handle, and as I pointed out in the previous videos, you can see the similarity between the mid-period Hacker radios and this handle here, obviously made by the same company. And indeed this little fixing here is made by Pekalit, who also made the knobs for Hacker radios and some of the Dynatron radios too, so you can see that German connection again. So the handles come off by unscrewing this screw. There's a square nut on the inside which is retained. I'll remove that and pop the handle off. Right, the handle's off. You can see how dirty it is. Sort of a brown tinge to it. And here's the fixing. If the camera will focus. That's the fitting. So you've got this screw and a washer that goes through. That's the nut on the inside of the radio. And then you've got this nylon plastic bushing here that fits into slots on the radio here. So like that. Right, let's begin cleaning the handle. So I'm going to use this product here, which is called elbow grease. We'll see how it does. This is years of finger grease and just general dirt. I'll spray it on carefully and let that settle for a bit. And yeah, it's already working its magic. Yeah, that's better. I don't know if you can see how much dirt has come off pretty much straight away. There. So I shall continue doing that, and well, here's the handle all cleaned up, and managed to get all that gunk out of these very fine grooves in this aluminium. Yeah, not much more you can say really. Clean, clean, clean. Move on to the next bit. I was quite surprised just how filthy it was actually. Anyway, next bit. Well, considering the state of the handle, I guess the rest of the radio is pretty much like that. So again, I'm going to use this elbow grease product on it, if I can get the nozzle turned the right way. Now the speaker cloth is here. There's a little bit of, just a slight bit of material, so there's nothing behind this bit. Not that it matters, because I'm probably not going to spray this bit with something as powerful as this elbow grease, but I'm just going to, you can see, you can't see the brown tinge. So oh god, that is, let's have a zoom in of that. Oh my word. So that was the right decision. That was pretty dirty then. And my yeah. Ugh. Pretty filthy. Well, here we are finally, and the radio's all back together now. Let's have a quick listen. I can't obviously play any music.
Really well against an absolute barrage.
Just got my local
similar against Cardiff.
FM radio station, Radio
the challenge of
Cambridgeshire.
that game very, very well, and
it sounds
a lot of plaudits,
very,
rightfully
very
so,
rounded.
to get that draw when they're looking not to win the game.
Very nice. Let's have a quick. Let's have a quick tune around here, see if we can. Not much on FM these days.
Certainly a little bit tempted first half. A couple of decent chances,
Yeah.
There wasn't any real sustained pressure.
The only problem it does have with it is,
Level if he finishes up playing on a.
And it's not going to do it. There, you can hear that little crackle after it's gone off. And that's the contacts inside where the on-off contacts for the power are either worn out or they're cruddy. Now I've drilled a hole into the pot and squirted some switch cleaner in it, and that seems to improve it, but the next day it's back to where it was. The issue is it's one of those miniature pots that are riveted. I won't be able to find a replacement, and I don't want to drill the rivets out because it's a tiny little thing, probably smaller than that. Yeah, so a very nice radio, quite pleased with it. Hope you've enjoyed following me along for half hour or whatever the videos take, and hopefully see you again soon. And I shall leave you with the Telefunken Bajazzo.
Cambridgeshire. BBC Radio Cambridgeshire Sport.